I know what you're here for. You're looking for some anime recommendations, yeah? Well, say no more. You've come to the right place. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another video. My name is Billy, and I'm here to bring you into the world of anime.
Deja vu, I just been in this place before. Higher on the street, and I know it's my time to go. Going new, and the search is a mystery.
Assuming that you're a beginner, of course. If you're someone that have seen anime your whole life, then feel free to watch my other videos or leave your comments on your thoughts of my recommendations below. Anime has gotten extremely popular and mainstream within the past few years, especially during when the pandemic started. So many people were like,
What the fuck is anime?
This isn't just for kids?
Anime isn't just Japanese cartoon?
Nani the fuckery is this? Well, it's not cartoons, and the sooner you acknowledge this,
The sooner the ignorant dumb fuck title gets removed from the top of your head.
Alright, the purpose of this video is to help those that have never seen anime to get their feet wet. I'm going to be breaking this guide into multiple genres such as action, adventure, fantasy, and within each genre or category, I'm going to give you 2 anime just so that I don't overwhelm you. And I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but just in case any of you anime experts wants to go off in the comments about why I'm recommending these animes when there's so many other good animes to watch, it's because I'm not out here listing every possible good anime. This is an intro guide. If I want to go more in depth per category, I will make videos in the future such as top 10 action anime or most underrated animes to watch or whatever. But this is just a video for me to recommend my top 2 picks for people to get started per genre. Like imagine all the good anime in this world as a pie. And within this pie, I'm just going to be cutting out a specific piece and feeding it to you. I'm not saying this piece of the pie is better than any other slice that I can cut out. All I'm saying is that whichever slice that I cut out and give it to you is going to be good, you're going to watch it, and you're going to enjoy it. I swear to God. Alright, but seriously, like, you can't go wrong with this. I'm also going to be excluding animes that are too old and too long because it's not good for beginners to get stuck into, such as the world of Naruto or One Piece with old animations or slow pacing from the start. Just because these are classics and paved the way for many modern day animes doesn't mean we have to watch things from the start in chronological order. Because by that logic, we're going to be stuck in the 90s and early 2000s forever.
Ed, beside a kangaroo.
And once they do establish their interest, then they can look back into the past and see which classics that they want to explore. What I'm trying to say is that there's no one way to watch anime as long as you enjoy it. But sub over dub. Watch anime and sub, please. Please, for the love of God, watch it and sub. But this anime recommendation guide will be broken into 2 parts because there are various categories for me to cover and I don't want to make one long ass video. So in this video, we're going to be covering action, adventure, fantasy, and drama. And in part 2, we'll cover categories such as romance, comedy, slice of life, sci-fi, etc. So without further ado, let's get into the video real quick, real high. Starting off with action. And within this category, I recommend Jujutsu Kaisen, aka JJK, and Demon Slayer. The reason why I picked these 2 anime to recommend is because of the simplicity of the plot. It's a typical shonen type of story where the main character is living a normal life and suddenly gets sucked into the world of the supernaturals. And they have to learn how to fight from the ground up and work their way to achieve the top of the ranks. In JJK, the protagonist group where the main character will join are called Jujutsu Sorcerers and they fight off evil spirits known as curses. On the other hand, in Demon Slayer, the protagonist group are called Demon Slaying Corps, and guess who they're fighting? Creatures of the night, demons. When the plot of the story is simple, all viewers have to focus on are the good action and animation from the fight scenes accompanied by good music. One thing that stands out for JJK are their simpable characters, especially one of the main characters named Gojo Satoru. This man can turn the heads of the most straight alpha Chad male and have them simp for him. He's just that good looking, no joke. Now personally, I like Demon Slayer more because it takes more development for the main characters to get stronger. So they face more struggles and thus greater tension whenever they encounter the demons. And I'd also say Demon Slayer has better animation and music, which is why when this was first released, it took the Western world by storm in 2019. Regardless, they're both good, filled with action-packed scenes, and gets the job done extremely well. Moving on to fantasy, I'm going to be recommending the anime series That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime and Ranking of Kings. When talking about fantasy, we can't go by without at least mentioning one isekai anime. What isekai means is that it takes place in another world. Usually, the main character is a loser, or someone that lives a very normal life with almost no accomplishments, just getting by day to day, and suddenly they get killed, typically by being hit by a truck. struck, sending their soul to be reincarnated in a fantasy world, which in this case, our guy got reincarnated as a slime. Now usually when you think about slime, it's weak, the lowest level of monsters in video games, not respected at all. And this is why the plot is appealing, because the slime is being viewed as weak in this world, except he's not. He's a special reincarnated slime born with the ability to gobble up everything and learn the power of whatever he absorbed. Eventually he becomes strong enough to become a demon lord, but we're here to see his journey of encountering all the various fantasy creatures along the way and how he was able to tame and become friends with them. It's like One Punch Man, where the main character is super OP, so all we have to do is sit back, relax, and watch the journey unfold. On the other hand, the main character from Ranking of Kings is the polar opposite from Slime. Here we live in a world where kings are ranked based on their combat abilities, and the number one ranked king has a son called Boji, which is our main character that we're going to be following. Boji, unlike his dad, is born small and weak, and most importantly, he was born deaf, so he can't hear or talk. He gets ridiculed by the people of his kingdom due to him being weak and useless, and also gets pressured by his destiny to one day succeed the throne. He may act positive on the outside, but deep down he's a fragile, troubled, and scared kid. And we as viewers get to watch him grow and fight the discrimination in order to prove himself. It's a very empowering journey and a story that we can all learn something from. Very wholesome. Next up on the category, we have Adventure, and here I'm going to be recommending Attack on Titans, aka AOT, and Vinland Saga. Both of these anime could have been recommended in the action category, but I personally believe that the journey which took place within the stories are some of the greatest adventures out there for us to ride along and explore. I don't want to talk too much about AOT because it's arguably the best anime of the past decade. Even if you don't watch anime, you must have heard it, unless you live under a rock. Which in that case, you're like the people of the AOT world, where humanity is forced to live behind large walls to protect them from man-eating creatures that's roaming the outside world, known as Titans, hence the title. But the plot goes way beyond that, and the concept of man versus Titan slowly becomes just a piece of the overall picture that overarches the entire series. Now this anime has everything checked off. Good characters that seem simple at first, but over the years have shown great complexity in their traits and thus good character development. In terms of action, animation, and music, it's on par with Demon Slayer, and the only thing that I'd say puts AOT over Demon Slayer is the big brain plot that Isayama, which is the manga author, has put in place. Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about AOT or this video will never end, but AOT is a golden anime series and it's a much watch by all anime watchers. On the other hand, we have Vinland Saga. Now this, in my opinion, is a very underrated anime on social media, but falls within my top 10 of all time for sure. The setting of the plot takes place back in the Viking days, and you know how Vikings have great adventures where they roam the seas, conquer land, pillage villages, fight in wars with their great facial hair. Our story takes place where we follow a small innocent child born from a great Viking warrior. It's a story about revenge where, in order for his dad to protect him from our main antagonist of the story, his dad sacrificed himself. A great respectable warrior, never lost a battle in his life, gave up his noble life for his useless child. Thus, our main character, this useless little shit, snuck onto the enemy ship and actually started to learn the way of the Vikings. He starts to grow stronger in battle just for the sake of taking his revenge against them in the future. And if this doesn't sound interesting to you, then I don't know what will tickle your anime adventure bone. You might as well go out and touch some real grass. The last category of this video that we're going to be covering is drama. Now, I love drama. I love watching dramas on YouTube. I love watching drama unfold in school as a bystander. Heck, someone please cast me in a drama and I'll be the best side character there is. And for this category, I'll be recommending Fruits Baskets, the 2019 version, not the early 2000s version, and Death Parade. Starting with Fruits Baskets. And no, this isn't a story about fruits or baskets. The story of Fruits Baskets revolve around the concept of the Chinese zodiacs. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar, the Chinese zodiacs consists of 12 animals: the rat, the ox, the tiger, the rabbit, the dragon, snake, horse, sheep, monkey, chicken, dog, and boar. There's also a cat, but you'll see in the story why the cat isn't considered part of the 12. And the story goes as so. Long ago, God invited these animals to a banquet because he was lonely, in order to become friends with them and create an ever long lasting bond between themselves so they can all live happily ever after. Cute story, right? No, it's a goddamn curse. Within the story of Fruits Baskets, the zodiac animals are spirits that are passed down and possessed through the generation of the Soma family. Whenever one person that is possessed by one of the 12 animals dies, a random newborn baby within the Soma family will inherit the spirit again. So it's a never-ending cycle. It's also a curse because for the 13 people that are possessed by the spirits, 13 including the cat, they're forced to transform into their respectable animals whenever they hug someone of the opposite sex. Imagine how creepy it is if you hug someone and they turn into an animal. A cat would be cute on one hand, but imagine if it's a rat or a boar or a chicken. It just weird, you know what I mean? And thus we explore the mystery behind the Soma family's zodiac curse that comes with drama after drama as we see events unfold. But Fruits Basket is also a good piece of romance because due to the abnormal lives that the zodiac members must live by, it's very hard for them to come across true love, and thus it's a story about self-learning and discovering. Overall, very wholesome anime, definitely check it out. The second anime I'm going to be recommending for drama is called Death Parade. This is a short series where after a person dies, they are sent to a supernatural location where they are forced to play mini games with other people that have died as well. And throughout these games, the plot allows their inner characteristics to show, which is then judged by a higher power to decide whether or not to send their soul to heaven or hell. Personally, this isn't one of my favorite anime, but that's just because I've seen too many to know what my taste is. But I think for someone that's just getting into anime, it's a great one to watch because the concept is simple yet very creative with the mini games, and the tension of the atmosphere that the environments build up within each episode is very captivating to watch. And there we have it. Part 1 of my anime recommendations, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be releasing part 2 shortly, so make sure you subscribe, turn the bell notification on, and I'll see you guys in my future videos. Peace.